Pokemon franchise has obviously seen a dip within the last few years, and with the announcement of Pokemon Legends Arceus, it looks like the downward spiral is only going to continue. But how did we get here, and what caused Pokemon to fall into such a state of genericness and forcedness? The Pokemon franchise has obviously seen a dip within the last few years, and with the announcement of Pokemon Legends Arceus, it looks like the downward spiral is only going to continue. But how did we get here, and what caused Pokemon to fall into such a state of genericness and forced nostalgia? Well, let me explain the downfall of Pokemon in a short stage play played entirely by me. Look, we have this cool new game. Wow, this is amazing. Okay, now we've made 3 more. You want something new? No thanks. Okay, guess I'll go fuck myself. In order to figure out where things went wrong, we need to journey back to my personal favorite games, Pokemon Black and White. We also need to know the context of these games before we can decipher what went wrong and how it all happened. So, let's talk about them. But hey, before that, you should subscribe because it's free and I will be your friend in a totally parasocial way. And it'll look a little something like this. I love you, man. I love you, bro. Lead game designer Junichi Masuda stated that Pokemon Black and White was meant to be a reboot for the series. But what he didn't say is that it failed and it ultimately ended up dooming the franchise forever. This is seen most notably in the most controversial feature added to a Pokemon game ever. The Pokemon. The decision to only use new Pokemon helped to freshen up the formula and make the games feel new again. But because of this, they had to convince you that these new Pokemon are all Gucci because they had no older Gucci Pokemon to hide the new, not Gucci and little disgusting ones. Every Pokemon game has bad designs, but older games had older Pokemon. So if you don't like Barrow's big buck teeth, you can still use Dragonite and his big dumpy. The Pokemon on Black and White are kind of like a roller coaster. Obviously a very subjective roller coaster, but I think we can all admit, whether you like Garbodor or not, that this generation has some quirky designs. Most of the coolest Pokemon in this generation are all available much later in the game, and a lot of its starting Pokemon are among its most hated. Like, let's compare 2 bipedal Pokemon from this generation, one from the late game and one from the early game. On one side you have Haxorus, a scary dragon with an axe for a face and arguably one of the most unique designs in the entire series, versus an angry meerkat. Gen 4 has a lot of ugly and really bad designs, but everyone's so caught up in the Shinx and the Staraptors to give a shit about the Cricketots and the Bidoofs. The starting trio from these games are pretty weird too, and not in a good way. All 3 are ugly, boring, or just completely stupid looking. And it's the 3rd gen in a row they did the 5 fighting starters, which is lazy, and I hate you, Masaru. I'm sorry I said your name wrong again. Oshawott in 2nd Evolution had the potential to be one of the best starters ever, but of course they went, no, that's a stupid idea, let's make it look terrible. The starter should have been left at an orphanage for all I care, because instead of adoption, I want to replace the D and a P with an R and a B, because these starters all suck. In my opinion. Then after giving you a subpar starter trio, Black and White goes, oh yeah, you didn't like that? Well, we're gonna give you another one. The monkey trio are even worse with such ugly designs that make me want to cry and it's just so awkward to look at. Infernape is a great monkey design. This is a great monkey design. This is another great, wait, no, get rid of that. Along with designs like the angry meerkat, it makes the starting areas miserable and I just want to speedrun them as quick as possible. But don't worry, it gets worse. You know those 4 Pokemon that are ugly and no one likes? Well, the first 2 gyms seem to love them. So now you have to keep looking at these ugly monkeys, and every gym leader from the first 2 gyms has either a Lillipup or a Herdier. I like dogs as much as the next guy, but these things are way too kickable for my liking. You see, first impressions are important, and my first impression in these games is to grab all these Pokemon and throw them into an incinerator. Also, the second gym is a normal type gym in a library. Shh, in a library with the angry meerkat Pokemon and another one of those stupid dogs. This isn't a great way to convince players that using only new Pokemon was a good idea. But like I said before, Black and White are kind of like a roller coaster. Because from here on out, the games become amazing. Every gym is super creative with interesting designs and cool decals. The towns are all super distinct and memorable with cool unique buildings and architecture. They've got a baseball stadium, a roller coaster, and a bridge. Actually, a lot of bridges. In Black and White, the towns are all super cool, but the roads connecting them kinda suck. Unfortunately, the Unova region's kinda like a big, dumb, boring circle, which ruins the immersion because it feels like it was designed for a video game. Which it was, but it shouldn't feel like that. It makes the games a lot less confusing because you're not wandering around not knowing where to go or even going the wrong way. But linear progression isn't really a good thing because it makes the world less interesting. You don't have those
Alright, I'm good.
Shortcuts or backtracks. Other regions require backtrack. triple battles. For some reason or another, Game Freak decided that from everything in this masterpiece to take from, it was that adding gimmicks to core battle mechanics is a great idea. You know what, why not do it for every game and then toss it in the bin for the next? Introducing game-exclusive gimmick called battle mechanics, or Glum for short, is stupid, dumb, and lessens the impact with every new installment. Mega Evolutions were a great change and felt special, and they added new designs to older Pokemon. But then of course, in the next game they were completely removed. And what were they replaced with? Z-moves, a really strong move for each type. So creative. Then regional variants, and then Gigantamax. Sir, we're out of ideas for Sword and Shield. What should we do? Yeah, we know the music's great. Can we talk about something else? Yeah? No. Headphones off, please. We're in a meeting. The idea of game-exclusive gimmick called battle mechanics, or Glum for short, already became lazy and stale within 2 mainline games. And the next problem is, what comes after Gigantamax? Alright, new idea. Every 3rd turn you have to pay taxes, or else your veneer is thrown into a blender. At this point, whatever they add next is going to be so tainted by the holy knowledge of its fated removal that it's going to be hard to care about. The worst part is that these new features don't even cater towards innovation, but instead nostalgia with a new coat of paint. Out of the 48 Mega Evolutions added to Pokemon X and Y, a grand total of 47 were of older Pokemon. And Diancie being the only Gen 6 Pokemon, you know, the generation
Yeah,
Mega
Evolutions were good.
Mega Evolution. Gigantamax is a lot better, with 19 of the 32 Gigantamax forms being from new Pokemon, which is great. I can't complain about that. And that's what we want, but aside from Garbodor, every other Gigantamax form is from Gen 1. 12 out of the 19 Galar forms are of Gen 1 Pokemon. Which, but by the way, Galar's a really dumb name. I used to have Galar's a kind of bird I used to have. Well, I mean, actually it was a cockatoo, and anyway, it had a foot fungus, and it died. The Gen 1 starters and Gengar both have a Mega and a Gigantamax
And
form.
Gengar.
And Meowth and Slowbro both getting regional forms and a Gigantamax or a Mega Evolution. While there are 887 more Pokemon that could use a new Galar form. No, not the Foot Fungus Dead Bird. Just any form. But why is Game Freak doing this? Why? Because in Gen 5, the fans told them that focusing on new Pokemon and new ideas isn't what the fans want. As long as you keep pandering to nostalgia and half-assing games, the fans will keep buying. Pokemon's core business philosophy revolves around nostalgia. This is why Pokemon is so formulaic and never changes. Black and White wasn't completely different, but tried to change even slightly. And fans didn't like it, so when met with resistance, I think they just said, well, we put in all this work and no one cared, and it didn't make us any more money, so let's never do that again. This is why features like the raid battles or wild area never get enough work put into them, because it just isn't worth it. Fans are buying it for the new Charizard, not the cool wild area. Now you might be saying, well, I bought it for the wild area, and look, you're one of the good ones. Look at you, I'm so proud of you, my little gamer boy. The absolute epitome of this is with Pokemon Legends Arceus. I was really excited when I first saw this. Look at something new, it's the Breath of the Wild. Wow, Breath of the Wild, sweet, this is gonna be sweet. But now the initial hype has worn off, and I think this game is gonna be garbage. A trailer
think it's gonna be
meant to show
good.
off the best and most exciting parts from a game.
I think it's gonna
What's the
be
most
really
exciting
good.
part from this trailer? The ghost town, the completely empty fields with literally nothing in them, literally nothing. The 2014 graphics, the same 20-year-old battle system, the poor optimization, and lag. Again, this is in the announcement trailer. Think about what Breath of the Wild did for Zelda games. They completely changed everything about the games and broke through with interesting new mechanics and ideas. Legends Arceus could have done this. It's not connected to the mainline games in any way except for the region and release date. And again, there's the remakes that are coming out that don't change anything. So this game has the breathing room to, you know, do a little bit of twinking. Oh, twinking. That's not what I meant to say. This game has the breathing room to experiment a little bit. Again, what am I... Legends Arceus could have been the game to change up the same stale 20-year-old turn-based battle combat. If you're gonna go all Breath of the Wild on us with a spin-off, actually commit to it and make something new. Not just spit out some low-effort garbage. Look at the trailer.
It's not low
buildings
effort.
look like you can go inside them.
It's not low effort. I'm gonna push back on that. I think Pokemon Legends Arceus has been in development since like X and Y. I think it's been a number of years they've been working on this game. So
They don't to me.
go on.
Also, isn't it a little bit worrying that there's not a single human NPC in this entire trailer? The only thing of note in this trailer is these weird pincer things that look like an island somewhere, but apart from that, there's nothing. Again, let's
an
remember that the
adventure
game's
game.
probably in really early development, but this is the announcement trailer. So if they're showing us this, don't expect this. From everything Pokemon has shown us in the last 8 years, I genuinely do not believe this game will be good. And none of this will be patched or fixed because they've never done it before, so why start now? Pokemon is in a doomed state. Despite being one of the biggest franchises of all time, the design choices aren't making
It
for a
is the biggest franchise of all time. I think I know what I think.
sustainable series. And I'm a businessman, don't worry. I know the only reason these games are being made is because they make some people a lot of money. And I don't blame them, but it's 2021. And this ain't 2021 material. The Last of Us 2 came out last year looking like this. And they expect us to buy this in 2022? Basically, Pokemon died a long time ago when Game Freak made the most creative and unique Pokemon games ever, and it failed. And made the most creative and unique mainline Pokemon sequels ever made, and it also failed. Dooming Pokemon to a cycle
really
of
liked Black
nostalgia
and
and
White.
using the same formula over and over and over and over. At least we got the Diamond and Pearl remakes though, right? Right? No, Pokemon's dead. It's dead. They fucking killed it. They fucking killed it. And I've only covered a few, and there are plenty of other issues with
This
Pokemon
guy's
games.
young. He's young. This guy is really, 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 really young. He's a little baby. He's a little 16, 17-year-old kid. I ain't listen to him. I ain't about that life. He's a little baby. Little boo 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 goo goo gaga. He's a little goo goo gaga. Nothing wrong with X and Y. X and Y was good. Nothing wrong with Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon were good. Alright, what's next? Pokemon presents a problem. I'm not watching it. Let's do some music. I'm good with just chilling right now. There's gotta be something else to do besides this. I'm sure there is. Although there's nothing wrong with doing this. This is fun. Nothing wrong with doing this. Can't reach that far. There we go. Nope.